She's a poet, performer, actress, presenter, producer, and a self-proclaimed social media junkie. This week, Lebo Mashile will be standing in for Redi Tlhabi, the Friday stand-in.
Well, Lebo Mashile, you are the Friday stand-in, and I'm absolutely thrilled because they don't know what they're going to get from you, which is going to be magic, isn't it?
I hope so. From your mouth to God's ear.
What did you want to be when you were 7 years old?
I wanted to be a painter and, interestingly enough, a writer. I used to write these little storybooks with pictures and spell really badly about how my younger sister had ruined my life by coming into the world. And I think I wanted to be a fashion designer then too. I'm surprised actually, yeah.
Well, I've seen you shopping, so you know, I know what you do. It's, you know it all. So what was your greatest childhood influence?
Books. I loved books. I got punished for reading books at the dinner table, and I would take books into my bed and read with a flashlight and stay up half the night and not be able to wake up in the morning. I've always loved literature, and my parents were really great in the sense that, you know, even if they didn't have money for whatever video game I wanted or new sneakers, if I wanted a book, they made sure that I got it. And if I couldn't get it, I learned how to use the library very early. My mom took me, I think when I was 7 or 8, and showed me how to use the library, and I had a library card, and so yeah, literature has always been my friend.
Yes, and of course that comes out in your poetry all the time. It really and truly does. What inspires you?
People who are fish out of water, you know, kind of underdogs, you know, the story that you wouldn't expect in the context that you wouldn't expect. My eye always tends to be drawn to that. Mavericks.
Okay, well, Mavericks is good. So what has been the highlight, do you think, of your career?
The first thing that comes to mind is winning the Noma. But I think being able to make a living as a poet in South Africa is quite extraordinary. I didn't realize how extraordinary it was until well into my career, but I feel very fortunate, especially now that I see so many young artists coming up and young people who just take it as their birthright to be able to do what they do for a living. I find that very exciting.
I think African poetry is very, very exciting. I think it's on the cusp of something exploding.
I think so too. We're in that moment.
Well, talking about moments, what has been the best moment in your life so far?
Oh, giving birth to my son.
Really?
Yes, definitely. I can't think of a happier time in my life.
Now the bit that I really, really like. What are you reading and what are you listening to?
Yo.
That's hard.
I'm reading Daughters of Fortune by Isabella Allende.
Best places that you have ever traveled to? Because you've done a lot of traveling.
I've done a lot of traveling. I love Cuba. I love Cuba.
It's the hips and rolling the things on your thigh.
Rolling the things on your thigh, and the way that people deal with their bodies and the old architecture and the love of culture. I mean, people don't have much, but you know, you walk into these dingy little dilapidated places and all of a sudden you find like 7-year-olds doing ballet or teenagers playing jazz or the most incredible visual art and sculpture. They really, really love culture and love themselves and their history. I appreciate that.
So, how do you spend your Sundays?
Family. I spend my Sundays at my mom's house, being climbed all over by my son, eating lots of food and talking nonsense with my family. It's my best. I love Sundays.
What is your hope for South Africa?
Gosh, my hope for South Africa is that we can realize how magical and how wonderful we are. So many people around the world, from established artists to pop artists, are referencing South Africa, filmmakers. Everybody is coming here to suck up this magic, but there's a sense in which we don't see it and believe in it for ourselves. And I hope we can realize that. If we realize that, then we can protect it and we can nurture it and feed it and start to do some of the healing work that we need to do.
Considering the content for your upcoming show, which do you have a better grasp of? Is it tech, is it sex, or is it science?
Instinctively sex and tech. I I loved science at school. I'm curious. I'm looking forward to having that conversation, but I'm really looking forward to the sex and tech.
Well, listen, I hope you're going to have lots of that as the Friday stand-in. They're going to absolutely love you. Redi's going to be knocking at your door saying, go away, go away, go away.
Go home.
But she loves you like I do.
Oh,
and it's going to be wonderful.
Jenny. Thank you so much. It's such a
Lebo
pleasure.
Mashile.